Oh, that would be brilliant, honestly. Brilliant.
What do you want me to say? She is.
She's an utter disgrace to the British people. And
No, I don't.
he's removing and replacing with this woman just here.
I'd stick them all in the tower, because that's where they belong.
Traitors Gate.
I've just come from the appeal courts, the Royal Courts of Injustices. I'm a mother of a boy that was murdered in January this year, along with his 2 friends. A car mounted the pavement and drove at them straight. 5 children it drove at. And we've been fighting since February this year. We've had meetings with Sadiq Khan and the borough commanders, and they're all covering up for each other. And I've just come from the appeal courts, where underhandedly and not transparently they left us in one courtroom and they all went into the next courtroom. And in fact, when the police constables were called and came in, I will give them their due. They didn't threaten to arrest us, and they all took their hats off and stood with us in that courtroom. They all took their hats off, which I commend those constables for today, because they saw what went on in a court that you may never see what will go on in these courts in this country. It is not just me fighting for our children, it's other mums. I met one yesterday that's been fighting for 3 years and being covered up by the Met Police. And when I say the Met Police, obviously it's the ones above them that are making the lower ones, the lower ranked ones, do things that are morally wrong. 3 children. And you know what it said in the piece of paper of one of the reasons that they just reduced his sentence, even though he's not on the right charge, because of the impact on him and his family. Not the impact on us, me or my family, the impact on him and his family. Shall I tell you the impact on me and the impact on my children of losing my 16-year-old son, not just losing him when he was happily walking on a pavement going to a 16th birthday party, innocently, and a car mounts the pavement and drives straight, never lost control, drove straight. We have all the evidence. We've been asking the Attorney General for 10 months. 10 months we've been asking the Attorney General to give us a meeting and let us show him the evidence we have. And they don't want to give us that meeting. We all pay their wages. All the taxpayers pay their wages. They don't care when something happens to you. Just like they didn't care about poor C. Keith Palmer. They're not even helping his family with the investigation. And that is what they will do to you lot. Now, I'm not here to have a go at you lot. I want to get in there where she is, meant to protecting the people. She's never once come out. There's shootings and stabbings since January this year. Shootings and stabbings. And they're not doing anything about it. They don't even show you the after effects or who did it, or when they're up in court. I got a message after the appeal court from ITV, and they messaged me and asked me if they could come and speak to us. And all I messaged back was, OK, you can come and speak to us if you're going to show what we say. What do you think happened? They didn't want to know, because I asked them to show what you say. Yeah, come and have our story, but show it, you know. But that's not what they wanted to do. So what they did, we was in court. We was being told outside court before we even got in the court that they was reducing the sentence. Reducing the sentence before we even got in there. All week we've been emailing them because we now have a copy of the documents that the court has got. So we physically can see the documents, and the court has half a map. Half a map. They don't even have the map of where our children were murdered. What they've done, they've drawn a line, a straight line, and then twisted that line to the curb to make it look like he's come along, lost control, clipped that curb, and it didn't even happen there. And we've been emailing and telling them, and they've ignored it. The other thing, when we was in court on the 4th, in the appeal courts, They found an edited document. So that's why it was deferred until today. Although they didn't tell us till tea time last night that we was in court today, probably in the hope that we couldn't get there and no one else could get there, more than likely. And one of the parents couldn't get there and was so upset this morning because we was only told yesterday, because he is on a job and someone's moving back in there tomorrow. So upset that he couldn't get to that court today because they only told us yesterday tea time. They really, really don't give a damn, not just about us, the people, about you lot. You're on the line. If something came and happened here, you're on the line. And do you think that they will assist your family if anything happens to you? Trust me, I'm in a system. I never expected to be in this system. I never knew we was in this system before January this year. I used to go, I'm level 5. I'm level 5 in leadership in management, and I'm a level 3 trainer in safeguarding of people. That's the job I do, and I do that. And I would never have someone tell me not to safeguard someone properly, because I wouldn't follow a puppet master, because I'm no puppet. I wouldn't do it. It's morally wrong. This is morally wrong. You don't see what they're doing in there. You see how much disrespect now the police have. I've never disrespected the police so much in my life as I do now, because I had a police force cover up in front of our face. We'd ask them questions, they wouldn't even answer us. Wouldn't even answer us. They didn't prepare us when we was going into court like they should have done, and we went into court and heard horrific things. We had to do our own investigation, and because of that, we've been subjected to torture on top of torture by Alperton Police, Met Police, because we've now had to watch the CCTV of our children. We had to watch that, and they hated the fact when we got hold of that CCTV. They wasn't interested what was on it, they was only interested in how we got it, because they knew. We've had to read police statements. Now, you're a police constable, so you know when you write, if you arrive at a scene, you have to write what you physically see. I haven't read that because I knew that was in there, but one of the mothers accidentally came across it. Now, we had to view our children being hit at 71 miles an hour because he put his foot down. 71 miles an hour viewing your child like that. And then on top of that, one of the mothers has ended up reading the description of her son, found with no clothes on. I won't add the rest because it's too graphic. And she couldn't speak to anyone for days. I have a 10-year-old son who's slightly autistic, and he shared the bedroom with his brother for 8 years. He's 10 years of age, and because of his autism, he relives it every day. So we have to hear it every day. And yesterday he was begging the guardian in heaven, he was calling him, to send his brother back. Begging and crying his eyes out to send his brother back. We're here day after day after day, and since being on the streets and coming out on the streets, is hearing everyone else's story. It's not just us fighting. I met a mother yesterday who's been fighting for 3 years. 3 years. There's hundreds of us, and they're just doing what they want to us, and they're using you. It's only the police. It's not the army. The army wouldn't go against their people. That's why they're setting up an EU army, because they know our own army won't go against the civilians. And the only thing stopping us bringing down this corrupt cesspit of an establishment that does not care about the people is you lot. It's only you lot. And if you lot stood with us, the French have. The French yesterday were on the streets fighting against their own establishment with their people. They won't let you know that. They won't let you know that. The mainstream media is complicit in all this. They won't let anyone know the truth of really. They're telling everyone, oh, it's all about fuel and taxes. You've only got research to find out it isn't. Now, I can come here and I can say, because I've just had to put up with that devastation in court just now, and I've come straight in, and I can say to you, look, let me in there. I know you're not going to let me in there. I know you're not going to let me in there to knock on her door, even though, as a commoner, as a person of the land, I should be allowed to be let in there, in reality. But what they've done to you all is they're making you now protect them and not the people. You know, I'm devastated, I'm destroyed. I fight every day on the streets with my might so you don't get another Josh, Harry and George. Because tomorrow it'll be someone else's children or loved one. Research 788 790 Finchley Road yourself on YouTube and you'll see what they've done to your pensions. Research yourself. I'm not telling you what to think, I'm telling you to research it. 788 790 Finchley Road. And we tell every police constable that, and 2 of constables earlier have already told us they've researched it. And that's what we need you, the people need you. Your oath is to serve and protect the people. It's not to serve and protect them. It's not.
Guy's listening to you.
I know. That's why I'm speaking how I'm speaking. That's why I'm speaking how I'm speaking. I know everyone else is looking around everyone else, but I know. Absolutely, and that's what we had today. We had constables stand around us today in that court and all take their hats off. And not try and intimidate us, not try and threaten us with arrest, because they saw, because they came in, because they were called in, they saw it for themselves. And what they saw was this lot in the court, get up, go in the court next door. They couldn't believe it. They thought they was only talking next door. We're all sitting in this court. Not transparent, that was corrupt in itself. Corrupt in itself. So I wanted to come from up there to here to say to you lot, please just listen to the people, because it's coming. Those yellow coats, those yellow vests have started, and that will build up. And it's just going to be you lot against the people, because they ain't going to send anyone else out. And the army won't do it against the civilians. They're setting us all up. They're setting us all up. You know, and this is the right side, fighting for the children so it doesn't happen again, because they're letting it happen every single day. And I will thank you personally for just listening. Thank you.
Boys' song.
Josh, George, Harry, justice for the free. I just don't think you understand. We have to make some noise. They took away our boys, and now we're gonna shame the police. Josh, George, Harry, justice for the free. I just don't think you understand. We have to make some noise. They took away our boys, and now we're gonna shame the police.
Thank you, everyone. We just wanted to come down and, you know, say our bit to outside the gates of hell, paedophiles, traitors, devils, whatever you want to call them, and I'm sure I'll be seeing them in the next few days. You know, over this, everyone will be enjoying their festive. So I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.